The real purpose of Trump's tariffs and the prophecy of the elder Saint Paisios. God works in secret, he says. The real purpose of Trump's tariffs and the prophecy given by Saint Paisios. The real purpose of Trump's tariffs, the dissolution of the European Union and the supranational organizations of globalization. Most see Donald Trump's tariffs as a means of protectionism or as a tool for exerting pressure on the trade level, but the real purpose of the US president is much deeper and more strategic: the complete dismantling of the globalizing order and supranational organizations, with the European Union as the main target. Trump's policies are not a simple retreat into nationalism or isolationism. It's the first organized counterattack against a global system that has made nation-states subordinate to supranational elites without democratic accountability, a system that, under the guise of interdependence, has turned countries into provinces of an undeclared world state, without a flag but with absolute control over the resources and political will of the people. The humiliation of the United States as a tool of globalization. For decades, the United States has assumed the role of the world consumer. Production was transferred to China and elsewhere, while the United States itself was mired in trade deficits and debt. International agreements such as NAFTA and the mechanisms of the World Trade Organization, WTO, consolidated this regime. Trump, in a surprise move, imposed tariffs on 185 countries. Thus, it puts a brake on multilateral mediation and forces each country to negotiate bilaterally with the US. Without the mediation of the European Union or other supranational institutions, it's a political ultimatum. Anyone who wants access to the US market will have to talk directly to Washington. Giorgia Meloni of Italy and the rift in the European Union. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni becomes the first to accept Trump's game, quote unquote. She puts national interest ahead of Brussels, which is the European Parliament, and starts negotiations with the US outside of the European Union framework. It's the beginning of the end for European unity as we know it. Brussels' reaction is weak, as consensus is disappearing. The first rifts are evident. Elites lose billions. Trump's policy removes over $6 trillion from global stock markets in a few days. This is not an accident, it's intentional. The elites who lived off the bubble, quote unquote, of financial instruments are losing their power base. The money that was created out of thin air, quote unquote, is disappearing. The inflation that was hitting working and middle class citizens is starting to subside as money is once again reflected in real production. Trump, as a power distributor, a redistributor, with his actions, Trump is resetting the global geopolitical chessboard. He's breaking the grip of supranational mechanisms and offering national governments the opportunity to regain their sovereignty. Every member of the European Union and every other country now has the opportunity to negotiate directly with the big player without being accountable to commissioners and technocrats. Now, the prophecy of the elder of Mount Alpha, Saint Paisios, and the return of history. And here comes to the fore something that few have the courage to say publicly, but many have begun to whisper. The prophecy of Saint Paisios. The saint had said that America will see that Germany has raised its head, that Hitler is awakening and will want to destroy it. Which is the power center of the European Union today? It's Germany. And which country has benefited the most from globalization and its exports to the USA and to Asia? Germany. With Trump's policies, the German export super mechanism is on the verge of collapse. The USA, seeing that Berlin operates as a hegemonic power that imposes economic discipline on the other peoples of Europe, is activating its plan to contain it. What seemed like an economic strategy ultimately turns out to be a geopolitical conflict with a metaphysical background. So the conclusion: Trump's tariffs are not just an economic tool, they're an act of conflict against the global system, a move that to strategically restore national sovereignty, and perhaps for those who read the signs of the times, a fulfillment of an ancient sacred prophecy. And perhaps, after all, as the elder St. Paisios used to say, God works in secret. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.